Welcome, my name is David. This is the channel What You Saying FM, and this is the first video that I'm going to be bringing out to you. I'm sure if you're a Football Manager fan, this is probably one of the first videos you're going to be looking for. So I wanted to bring my own version, my own list of players that are a bit different to what you probably might have seen already. So I've chosen players that will fit for Championship, League One, League Two, and obviously the big boys that you can get for sort of Premier League teams and maybe some teams in Europe. So I've got a list of 23 players. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to sort of skim through and then pick out the key sort of players. We're going to start off though with the very, very big guys, because I know that's what most people are looking for. Is, as you can see at the top of the list, Dimitar Berbatov. He is 35 years old, but if you want a strong target sort of man sort of player, he is sort of the guy for you. I would suggest possibly Championship standard if you can get him. Maybe lower Premier League team, but to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to want to come back to England. I've noticed on this game, trying to sign people who are sort of this sort of age, and trying to bring them back to the Premier League or wherever, they're not interested. You know, they've had their career, they've done a lot of things. You know, if you look at his history, he's done everything. He's been in the Premier League, he's done it, he knows it. He doesn't need to come back, because he'd only have one season and he'd go off and do whatever for the rest of his career. So I'd try and sign him, maybe sort of like West Brom, Hull sort of standard, but really you might have a struggle to get him. But I just thought I'd add him in there because obviously everyone likes a big guy. Then there's Leon Osman. He's again of age, 35 years old, but if you want in a strong central midfielder who's very attacking, you can play him out wide if you really need to. He is your guy. He's had a great career with Everton. He's been there. It's a shame that he couldn't actually get to retire fully with them. He is showing he's available. I don't know what he's actually doing in real life right now. I don't think he's signed for anyone or even been of interest to anybody, but I'd definitely try and get him for a lower Premier League team, maybe even Championship if you can sign him. So he's definitely one to look out for. And then the key ones for me here are Souleymane Traoré, Maicon and Adebayor. Adebayor, we all know about him. We all know if he's confident, he will do the business for you. If you look at his stats here, 14 finishing, 13 first touch, heading at 17, which is perfect for sort of a target man role. And as you see there, that's his favoured duty. Then he's very good at penalties as well, which I didn't realise. And he's still fairly quick. If you can get him playing, if you can give him regular game time, he'll get you 10, maybe 15 goals. And he would be perfect for, again, like a West Brom Hull sort of team. If you look at his career on a whole, he's been around the block a bit. That crazy loan at Real Madrid, which surprised everyone, and I don't know if any of you remember that, but I couldn't believe it when I saw him playing in a Real Madrid shirt. So he's definitely one to try and get at least. Whether you can get him playing or not, because I've not actually tried him this year, is another question, but he's definitely someone to look out for. But for me, the big ones here are Maicon and Souleymane Traoré. If you just want a solid right back, Maicon is your guy. He is 34, yes, but he's still got all the stats that you're looking for. Obviously, I've not fully scouted all these players because I'm going to be using this Cambridge team for my own season in the next video that you'll see. So I've not took the time to fully scout it for you, but if you can sort of guess where he's going to be. So in there, he's probably going to be about 14, maybe 15. Same with strength, maybe about 15 sort of area. But he's still got it all. If you want someone just to attack rather than defence, if you want fully attacking wing backs, he's perfect for you. You know, he didn't really get the time at Man City. They probably signed him a bit too late, but he got the game time at Roma, and I don't believe he's with anybody right now, if I remember right. So I would definitely try and get him for a Premier League team. Maybe somebody in Europe would take him on as well. And he tends to get snapped up quite quickly on this game. So if you do want to get him, I suggest getting him pretty quickly. But for me, this is the one that I would want to get, and that's Souleymane Traoré. He's 31 years old. You've got maybe 2-3 seasons out of him. Unfortunately, the stats don't show very much, but if you know of this guy, he's a quality central midfielder. He's a ball-winner midfielder as naturally, but he's also got a great long shot on him. If you see there, he's probably about 14, 15. I definitely suggest picking him up for a Premier League team if you can. Because if you look at his history, he's played for some big teams, the likes of Inter and AC Milan. He had a spell with Sunderland very briefly, but here is when I first found out about the guy. I love this Portsmouth team. I don't know if you guys can remember it, but they had the likes of Lassana Diarra, Kevin Prince Boateng, Benjani, with Matty Taylor back in the day. He was quality. They had Glenn Johnson, and there was loads of other really, really good players. Glenn Johnson for me is the exception because I just can't stand the guy. But that team that they had that year was absolutely amazing. And unfortunately, if you guys know, it all went a bit tits up. So I'm going to go down now to the more interesting side of things for me personally, because a lot of these players in this list I'm actually going to try and sign for this Cambridge team if I can. So they're all players aimed for sort of the League 2, League 1 area, possibly lower end Championship if you want some experience. Because I don't know about you, but when I start a season, it's all about working your way up. I don't really like starting in the Premier League too much unless I've got a clear idea as to where I want to go with it. But if I just try and pick a team at random, I'll just find it either too easy or too much of a struggle sometimes to just get anywhere. So I'd rather start with League 2, scour the free transfer list and work my way up. So I'm going to start off with a possible wild card. For me, not because I know of this guy. I've seen him a lot. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, and we did have him, and he was absolutely amazing. But this is Oguchi Onyewu. So for guys who don't know about him, he has been a bit of a journeyman. He did have a stint at the likes of AC Milan, I believe Sporting. Yeah, Sporting. But if you look, he has been around the block a bit. He was really good for us. Him and it was Glenn Lewin together, and they were absolutely amazing. He's been all over Europe as it looks. I didn't even realise he'd played for Standard Liège, but he's a quality centre back. I'd definitely get him for League 1, League 2. I signed him for an offline Portsmouth save that I got, and he's been an absolute rock for me. He's a bit of a hothead sometimes though. If you look there with his 16 to 19 aggression, and he has been sent off a couple of times, so just be wary of that. But the stats that you're really looking for, he's got it all. Heading 16, strength probably 16. He's got fairly decent tackling stats, but he is pretty much of a rock, so not many people get past him. He's got very good leadership skills, very good teamwork, and he's just an all-round very solid centre-back. Next in the list, I'm just going to skim through some of these. So there's Sean Claheasy and Ryan Hall. They've been around the block a bit. They are still of good age, but if you're looking for an experienced League 1/League 2 player to fit in your team, to sort of build up the numbers, or to have a spare, these two I would definitely suggest. Hogan Ephraim, again, this is a bit of a strange one because he was tipped to be something really amazing quite a few years ago now, but he's never really been able to hit his heights. You know, he had a good spell at QPR, that's where he got his name really, and then he's just been a massive journeyman ever since then. And he hasn't played for a season, so I've not tried him out. Last year he was okay. I picked him up a few times, just as a sort of a spare player. This one though, I would aim to probably get him in for the Championship, and this is J-Tab. If you look at that, his stats already still are really good. He is someone I know of quite a lot, and I've always hated him coming to Hillsborough. I'm really surprised Ipswich let him go at the end of last season, because he played just over, I think it was 40 games in the league and however many in the cup. But if you look at those stats, for somebody for like a low-end Championship team or a high-end League 1, he is absolutely perfect. He's a ball-winning midfielder. His stats here, so he's got fairly decent tackling stats, but what he's the kind of player he is he picks up on the loose balls and he likes to spread the play around. He used to be a winger, so he's got quite a thought process of trying to get out wide a lot and sort of get into the game and not shy away. So if you look at that, he's got good crossing stats, good long shots, good free kicks. He's got good anticipation, good positioning, good work rate. All round in that midfield, he's just going to run for you. If you want a runner, someone who's just going to be there for you in any sort of position, he is literally your guy. I'm going to try and sign him for the Cambridge team I'm going to create. I don't know whether I'm actually going to be able to get him or not, but it's someone I would definitely recommend picking up. And there's a few of what I would class wild cards a bit further down. So let me just go through the list. So there's a few here. There's the likes of Justin Hoyt, Derek Asamoah, and Leroy Lita. They're the sort of players that, again, are squad fillers, but they've still got it. You know, Leroy Lita, they've already scouted him. He's a good player for a League 2 team. If you look at his stats, though, he's never really been a huge goal scorer, but it's what he brings to the game is what's more than what his actual goal scoring attributes are. He runs a lot, and I mean a lot. He also brings other players into the game, so he's not always so selfish, which sometimes you want him to be a bit more selfish to try and score the goals, but he definitely brings the rest of the team into it. And if you look, his stats aren't as great as you would expect for somebody of Leroy Lita's caliber, but I would definitely pick him up as a sort of squad filler striker, because he would definitely get you 5 to 10 goals a year, maybe more if you play him fairly regularly. Then we have, I call this my second wild card, and that's Nigel Reo-Coker. I don't know how many of you guys know of him, but he has been around the block quite a bit. He started off at Wimbledon, went to West Ham, and they absolutely loved him down there. Then he went to Aston Villa when they had a fairly decent team back in the day, and then he sort of floated off into America. I don't know whether you're going to be able to get him for a championship team, because he does think of himself as better than that, but I would definitely try and sign him sort of like high-end championship team, maybe even lower Premier League team at a push if you really just need a sort of squad filler player. But I would aim championship. His stats are, you can't really see him because I'm not scouting him, but for a sort of ball winning midfielder, already right there, 14 to 19, I'd say it's probably about 15 tackling. He's still got it, and he's very strong, and he's got very good stamina for somebody the age of 32. So I'm going to move on and just skim through the rest of the list that I've created. I'm going to leave a full link down below of all the players I've put in this video, just so you can take a look yourself. So we've got the likes here of Joey O'Brien, Curtis Obeng, and Jordan Spence. So 3 right backs I've picked out there. I would suggest signing all 3 for sort of League 1, League 2 area. Jordan Spence, he had a very good year at MK Dons last year. I'm surprised they actually let him go, because he was one of their key players for me, because he was very attacking minded, and he would fit in a team where you're looking for attacking fullbacks. Then you got the likes of Joey O'Brien. He's always been a solid player. He started off as a central midfielder and switched to fullback positions, and he was a very good player for West Ham. It's a shame he couldn't stay there any longer. He was up and down in the Bolton team, because that was sort of the time when they had a really good squad, and he was fairly decent for us at Sheffield Wednesday. Going through the rest of the list then, I've got quite a few defenders actually looking at it. Didn't realise Jermaine Grandinson and Felipe Mattione are 2 very good right backs. Mattione is at the same level as Alan Neom, or Niom, however you say it. When I had a offline West Brom save, I scouted him. Same potential, same current sort of standard. I don't know why, but Everton got him this season, and they've just put him straight on the free transfer list. I don't know what's gone on there, and I need to have a look at that. But if you're wanting a fairly decent right back to go for your lower sort of Premier League team, he's got it all. He's very quick, he's probably got about 13, 14 there. He's got decent tackling, good passing, so he's a very good sort of attacking minded player. He's got very good crossing on the overlap. That's how I would use him, because I like to get the fullbacks bombing forwards. And all round, he's got very good stats. The only thing that sort of lets him down is his strength. He does get knocked off the ball, and he's not got the best tackling stats. But if you're looking for an attacking fullback to just get forward, he is absolutely perfect for you. So as I said, I've not gone through everyone in the list, because there is quite a lot of people there. But I wanted to give you guys a different sort of aspect to the free transfer market, because every single year I'll spend a good hour or so looking through the entirety of the free transfer list and trying to pick out players based on sort of what teams I want to create for the year. Before I end this video though, I just wanted to touch on something I mentioned earlier. I'm going to be using Cambridge United in my first Let's Play. This is going to be a series that's going to be ongoing through the entirety of Football Manager 2017. Let me know, if I can speak, if you want to see sort of teams like Dortmund, because I'm thinking of doing a Dortmund career, maybe in Real Madrid, but I want to sort of start off with teams in the UK, starting off League 2, League 1, Championship. I'm thinking of maybe doing a Championship series as well, but I'm always going to be bringing back to this Cambridge one. So if you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. Let me know if there's any of the guys on this list which you would that you've been able to sign actually, that you would definitely recommend. The more people who see this kind of video, you sort of see the similar trends of the same players popping up. I wanted to give you something a bit extra. So thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like. This is a new channel, so as much support as I can get is massively appreciated. Please leave a sub if you can, and just expect soon my first video of a Let's Play season with Cambridge United. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.